What living with a narcissist spouse does to your nervous system. Living with a narcissist spouse doesn't just affect your emotions or your confidence, it quietly rewires your nervous system. At first, you may not notice it happening. You tell yourself you're just stressed, tired, or trying harder to keep the peace. But over time, your body begins to live in a state of constant alert. Your nervous system, which is designed to help you respond to short-term danger, is forced into long-term survival mode. When love is unpredictable, affection is conditional, and conflict appears without warning. Your body learns that home is not a place of safety. It becomes a place where you must stay vigilant, careful, and emotionally armored. In healthy relationships, the nervous system spends most of its time regulated. You feel relaxed, grounded, and able to recover from stress. But with a narcissist spouse, stress never truly ends. It just changes shape. One moment things seem calm, even loving. The next, there's criticism, coldness, blame, or emotional withdrawal. This inconsistency is what destabilizes your nervous system the most. Your body starts scanning for danger even during good moments. You don't relax, you brace. You become hyper-aware of tone changes, facial expressions, silences, and moods, because you've learned that any small shift could signal emotional punishment. This is how hypervigilance develops. Your nervous system stays stuck in fight or flight, not because you're dramatic or weak, but because your environment is emotionally unsafe. You may notice your heart racing during simple conversations, your stomach tightening when your spouse walks into the room, or your shoulders always tense without realizing it. Even when nothing is happening, your body is preparing for something to go wrong. Over time, this chronic activation exhausts you. You're not just tired, you're depleted at a cellular level. Living with a narcissist spouse also disrupts your ability to trust your own internal signals. Gaslighting plays a major role here. When your feelings are dismissed, minimized, or twisted against you, your nervous system receives a confusing message. What you sense isn't reliable. You might feel hurt, but you're told you're too sensitive. You might feel afraid, but you're told you're imagining things. This creates a split between your body and your mind. Your body reacts with anxiety, dread, or sadness, while your mind is pressured to override those signals to maintain peace. Over time, you stop listening to yourself. This internal conflict is incredibly destabilizing. The nervous system depends on clarity and safety to regulate. But when your reality is constantly questioned, your body doesn't know when it's allowed to relax. You may begin to dissociate, feeling numb, foggy, or disconnected from yourself. This isn't weakness, it's a protective response. When fight or flight doesn't feel safe, the nervous system shifts into freeze. You go quiet, compliant, emotionally distant, not because you don't care, but because your system is trying to survive. One of the most damaging effects of living with a narcissist spouse is how your baseline stress level changes. Even when you're away from them, your body may remain tense. You might struggle with sleep, experience intrusive thoughts, or feel restless without knowing why. Your nervous system has learned that calm doesn't last, so it stays alert, even in silence. Many people describe this as feeling like they're always on edge, or waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is the body remembering patterns, not the mind exaggerating danger. Over time, this constant dysregulation can show up physically. Headaches, digestive issues, chronic pain, fatigue, and immune problems are common. Your nervous system is connected to every system in your body. When it's under constant threat, your body pays the price. Emotional stress becomes physical illness, not because stress is imagined, but because it's embodied. Your body has been carrying what you were never allowed to express. Another subtle but powerful impact is how your capacity for joy and connection shrinks. When your nervous system is overwhelmed, it prioritizes survival over pleasure. You may notice that things you once enjoyed no longer bring the same feeling. Laughter feels forced. Relaxation feels uncomfortable. Even moments of peace can feel unfamiliar or undeserved. This happens because your system has adapted to chaos. Calm feels foreign, sometimes even unsafe, because it's not what your body has been trained to expect. Living with a narcissist spouse also conditions your nervous system to associate love with anxiety. Affection may come after conflict, criticism, or emotional withdrawal. This creates a trauma bond where relief feels like love and attention feels like safety, temporarily. Your body becomes addicted to the cycle not because it's healthy, but because intermittent relief is powerful. This makes leaving, detaching, or even setting boundaries feel physically terrifying. Your nervous system isn't just afraid of losing the person, it's afraid of losing the familiar rhythm it adapted to survive. What makes this even harder is that many people blame themselves for these reactions. They think they're broken, overly anxious, or emotionally unstable, but your nervous system is responding exactly as it was designed to respond to chronic emotional threat. The problem was never your sensitivity, it was the environment. No nervous system can remain calm in a space where love is used as leverage and safety is conditional. The turning point often begins with awareness. When you understand that your body has been living in survival mode, shame starts to dissolve. You realize that your exhaustion, anxiety, numbness, or hyperalertness are not personality flaws. They're nervous system adaptations. This understanding alone can begin to create regulation because clarity brings safety. Naming what's happening helps your system feel less alone and less confused. Healing doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't start with forcing yourself to be positive or let it go. It starts with creating pockets of safety, moments where your body can experience calm without consequences. This could be through distance, boundaries, therapy, movement, breath work, or simply being in environments where you're not monitored, criticized, or emotionally drained. Every moment of safety teaches your nervous system something new. That peace can exist without punishment. As you begin to regulate, you may notice waves of grief, anger, or sadness surfacing. This is normal. Your nervous system is finally releasing what it had to suppress to survive. Feeling doesn't mean you're falling apart. It means your system is coming back online. With time, your body relearns what consistency feels like. You start to trust your internal signals again. Calm becomes familiar. Joy returns slowly, gently, without fear. Living with a narcissist spouse trains your nervous system to survive chaos. Healing is about teaching it that survival is no longer the goal. Safety is. And the moment your body starts to feel safe again, something profound happens. You don't just think differently, you breathe differently. You sleep differently. You respond instead of react. Your body finally understands what your heart always needed. That peace isn't something you earn. It's something you're allowed to have.